Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So for today's video I'm going to be doing a first impressions nearly full face tutorial using a brand that is new to me, which is L.O.V Cosmetics. And I have some products here from the fall collection and some from the summer collection, so I'll be trying them out on camera and giving you my thoughts. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. So just before I get into the products, for full disclosure purposes, I will say that these products were sent to me, but I wasn't asked to do anything with them. I wasn't asked to review them or anything, so these are all my honest opinions. So to get to the face, I always start with my eyes, so that's what I want to do today. And I have primed my eye with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using is this Eyevotion Luxurious Eyeshadow Palette in the shades Devoted to Nudes, number 700. So it gives you a little preview of the colours on the side, and then the packaging on this I really like. It's that kind of rubberized like NARS texture, and I'm not sure if you can see, but the palette itself, it's kind of wavy, and it has this print kind of embossed into it. So there's a lot of texture going on, and I really like that. It doesn't feel cheap or basic. And then when you open it up, there's a mirror inside, and it's all of that kind of rubberized feel on the inside as well, except for that shiny plastic bit that you can see. So you do get a mirror, although it doesn't stay up, it just goes flat. And in here there are 5 neutral shades. So there's like a deep pewter shade, a silvery kind of taupe shade, a shimmery light pink, a shimmery bronze, and a dark brown that I believe also has some shimmer to it. So they all have some form of shimmer to them. I haven't swatched them or anything, so I'm just going to have a feel of them now. They're nice and soft. Decent pigment to them. So these are the swatches. Never mind this smudge here. I accidentally put this colour on the wrong end, so forget that. I just tried to wipe it out. So we have the pewter, the taupe, the light pink, the bronze, and the brown. So with any palette that is all shimmers like this, I will add in some mattes, especially in the crease where I don't like to have too much shimmer going on. So I'm going to grab those and I'll be right back. So I've gone to my trusty Kat Von D Shade Light palette, which is all mattes, and I just took a little bit of the matte cream and dusted it all over, and then I took this light brown here and just popped that into the crease and blended upwards as a little bit of shading. And that's all. So I'll head back to the original palette here, and I think we might go with kind of a spotlight or halo shape. So I'll start with that nice bright silvery taupe shade and pop that right in the center of the lid. And I do expect to have to touch this up. This is just to kind of give me a guide and visualize where I want that lightness. Next I'm going to take this darker pewter shade and apply that on either side. And so far I don't see any fallout, which is nice. And then I'm going to take the deep brown on the end there, just on the tip of the brush, and apply that to the very outer corners of the lid. So right on the outside edge there and right on the inner corner. Then I'm going to switch to a blending brush and take a little bit more of that brown and dust that around in the crease. So you can see the difference there. It's subtle, it's not too much darkness, but it just gives it that little bit more dimension. So as I said, I am going to touch up that first shade, so I've just given my brush a quick wipe off. Again, I'm just giving my brush a dry wipe off and going into my bronzy shade, and we'll pop that under the eye. Then for the sake of using all of the shadows in the palette, I'm going to take a little pencil brush like this and the light pink in the palette and just pop that again in the center of the lid to brighten that up even more. Then I've just wiped off that pencil brush again and I'm going into the dark brown, and I'm going to run that under the eye but closer to the lash roots. So that has deepened it up a little bit. So then I wiped off my blending brush and I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of the matte light brown that I laid down in the crease and just go around the edges and just make sure that they're blending seamlessly, which is what I would normally do. So that is the eyeshadow look done. It's nice and simple and natural and wearable for every day. I knew it would be looking at the palette. It is that kind of everyday easy to wear, work appropriate kind of palette. I did have one other eyeshadow product though. I have the Eye Traction Magnetic Loose Eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Magnetize. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use everything I can in the look today, and as always there'll be an accompanying blog post with that, so I'll have pictures and everything of the products that I use today, and then anything that I don't use I'll put in a blog post on Sunday. So if you're interested in seeing more of the products from this line or this brand, then check that out. And just before I move on to the next product, I should have given you the info before I used it, but this retails for $15.95. It's part of the fall collection, and it comes in 2 other colour ranges, so 3 altogether, and they claim to have a long-lasting texture. So let's move on to the next product, and I have an eyeliner here, an eye pencil. This is the Best Dressed Eye Pencil 12-hour long wear in the shade Lazuli Imperial, and it's a twist up. So this one is from the summer collection, and it retails for $7.95, and it is described as an automatic pencil with an instant and intensive colour release which lasts up to 12 hours. Silky light formula that is easy to apply, and there are 2 new shades, Shimmering Jade and Matte Petrol. But that's, oh, this is, oh, I thought it was going to be black. It's like a deep blue. That's really pretty. That's cool. I was expecting a black. Oh wait, okay, so the Shimmering Jade is called Graceful Jade, number 261, and the Matte Petrol is called Lazuli Imperial. So this is the Matte Petrol. Let's start with the waterline and see how that goes. Our shadows are fairly neutral, so we'll add a little pop of colour. Oh, I like that. This would be lovely on blue eyes with like a bronzy gold eyeshadow look. It would just really make the eye colour pop. And I'm just going to apply a little bit along the lash line. I think that's nice, and it applied easily. Sometimes with these kind of twist up ones, I find they don't go onto the waterline very well. They're not soft enough, but this is nice and soft, so it did glide on fairly well. It did need a little bit of building up, but that's to be expected with a pencil, I find anyway, as opposed to like gel. And I like that shade, that's really nice. So let's move on to mascara, and I actually started talking about the mascara and curled one side of my lashes before realising that I skipped liner. So the mascara that I'm using is from the fall line. And this is the Lash Seduction Instant Volume Mascara, and this claims instantly provides the lashes with spectacular XL volume. The unique brush with innovative wavy fibres coats every single lash with the deep black texture, enriched with rice wax without weighing the lashes down. Also available as a waterproof version. So I think there must be fibres in the mascara itself. I will just recurl my lashes. So let's give this a try. Now my lashes aren't the greatest to show the performance of mascara because they're not very curly, they're not very long. So there's only so much that mascara can do for them. But let's see. It's hard, I think there are fibres in it, but not a whole bunch, which I like because it's not getting messy, but I can see that it's lengthening them. So I think there are some fibres going on. So that is one eye with mascara. And that's not bad. It's a little bit, tiny little bit clumpy from my lashes just because I don't have loads of lashes. So when they do start volumizing by kind of going together, they look a little bit spidery, but that's my lashes anyway with any kind of volumizing mascara. The brush isn't the easiest for the lower lashes. It's fine, but because it has kind of a thicker head, it's just that little bit more bulky. I am not mad at that at all because I can actually see that my lashes stand out. I don't have a thick liner or anything, so that always helps to have your natural lashes stand out. So let's move on from there. I have a brow product here, which is interesting. It's called the L.O.V Browtitude Eyebrow Sculpting Cream, which is long lasting and waterproof. That's what it looks like. And it has a wand that's like one of those kind of silicone mascaras, which I've never seen before on a brow product. So this one is from the fall line, and this retails for $8.95. It is an innovative pro tool to visibly add expression to the brows. The light waterproof cream formula defines the brows and optically fills them for perfect long-lasting results. Okay, so there's a twisty thing at the bottom. I was presuming that's how the cream would come out. I'm going to keep twisting this for a bit because okay, there we go. Sometimes it takes a lot of twisting. The cream has started to come out, so that's what that's for. So it kind of comes out from, it's coming out from two different sides. So immediately what I want to do is like use my hand or a palette to spread that around the wand. So let's do that. And this is in the shade Brunette Personality, which is the middle shade of 3. There's also Blonde Identity and Dark Brunette. So I'm presuming this is kind of like a brow gel in that you just brush it through and it gives a natural look. But it seems to be much more pigmented than a brow gel. I probably could have done with Dark Brunette, although it doesn't look too bad. So as expected, it is giving a nice natural look because it's just brushing through the brow. You know, because it's a wand, it's not going to give you a super precise look. But it's definitely a nice, quick kind of product to use. Okay, now while I'm using it, I'm noticing that I don't mind that the product kind of comes out just from two specific sides, because I can use those areas to get the product on and be slightly cleaner bristles to brush it through. Whereas if you have product all over it, you might end up with too much product and you'll nearly want to grab a clean spoolie to brush it through. Okay, so that's basically what it's done to my brows. It's not one that I would use if I'm going like all out, full glam, because I tend to like something that's a little bit more defined and structured and that I can be more precise with, especially in particular spots under the brow where I like to add kind of body. Whereas this is just generally working with what you have there and just filling that out and making them look more full, which they definitely do. However, it's probably one that I will use on the go just for a quick bit of colour through the brow. If I'm just running out the door or going doing errands or something and I want something quick and easy. So I like that, and I like that it's something that I haven't seen before anyway. I've seen definitely gels with like a regular wand. I haven't seen this kind of a wand before, and I haven't seen this kind of a like cream formula that you brush through. And if it's long lasting and waterproof, then that's also a bonus. Okay then, so we're moving on to the face, and I do have a foundation. This is the Extraordinary Perfecting Fluid Foundation on the Go System Long Wear. So this is again from the fall line, and it retails for $14.95. And it currently comes in 4 shades. So I have it in the shade Honey, which is the third of the 4. And because it only comes in 4 shades, I'm imagining that it's a sheerer coverage so that it would blend more with a few different skin tones, but I haven't tried it at all or tested it. And the description says, one-of-a-kind liquid foundation for a flawless and radiant complexion at the push of a button. Proven to improve the moisture supply as well as the elasticity of the skin and reduce fine lines within 2 weeks when used on a daily basis. So it sounds like it would be good for mature skin. Light, non-comedogenic texture with an SPF of 20 in an innovative compact packaging with a push dispenser and a high quality sponge. So because it is in a compact and it has a push dispenser, I haven't even opened my seal yet. It's kind of like it reminds me of a cushion foundation, but it doesn't seem to have the cushion going off the picture. It just seems to have a little hole where the liquid comes out, I guess. And the sponge, what is this texture? It's really smooth and soft. I can't figure out, like a slightly rubberized sponge, that kind of feel, but it's super smooth. So I'll see how that applies it. And of course we'll have to see what the colour is like. It could be way off. But again, it's in the shade 40, Honeymoon. Before we apply this, I'm going to turn the heat down because I can even see my face in the monitor. I'm getting a little bit flushed because it is quite warm in here, so I'll be back. Okay, so I also just grabbed a primer, number 1 because I always wear a primer anyway, and number 2 because my face is that little bit more red at the moment. I want to kind of tone that down a little bit, so I'm using the Inglot HD yellow primer for that. So you can see the difference between my 2 cheeks. It just takes down that little bit of redness. And this is also ever so slightly mattifying, which suits me as I have oily skin, and it sounds like this might be a moisturizing foundation. So let's peel off this sticker. So there is just a little hole in the packaging there. So I'm just going to click down and see what happens. Oh wait, what happened? So there's actually a little piece here. I don't know if you can see, but that is the clicker. There it goes. Oh, this color might be okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the applicator that it comes with for the moment just to see how that goes. And let's just start by patting it on. I think that colour is actually going to be okay. And that coverage isn't full, but it's not as sheer as I was expecting. That is a strong medium, I think, just going off that little bit. I think there's a little bit of a scent to it. A pleasant scent, but... So I have just been patting and just seeing what smoothing does. Okay, yeah, the smoothing definitely takes away some of the coverage as expected. But that sponge is so soft that you can smooth with it easily. I'm going to try it with a brush on the other side. Yeah, that coverage is not bad, which is surprising, especially given that there is only 4 shades. I would presume they're going to expand that. Well, one would hope. I can definitely feel it though. It's a liquid, but it's a thicker liquid. If I dip my finger in, you see how it kind of connects? It's not totally watery. It does have like that kind of thicker consistency to it, so I can feel it on my face. It doesn't feel totally lightweight. Okay, so that is the coverage that I'm getting from it, but this is pretty darn good. And I had some I have a blemish on this side under my nose, and I have some scarring from a previous blemish on this side of my nose, so you can still kind of see them once I point them out. You can still see that redness coming through, but covered the majority of it. It's definitely got a dewy moisturizing finish to it. Now I don't have a concealer from them. They do carry a concealer, so I am going to maybe mix a little bit of the foundation with a little bit of concealer. This is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser in the shade Light. Okay, so that is foundation and concealer on. I always set my foundation because I'm oily skin, and especially with something that's moisturizing and dewy like this, I need to set it. So I will just use a translucent pressed setting powder. This is the Stay Matte from Rimmel, and I'm just going to press it on so as not to move the product underneath. Okay, so that's taken away most of that shine, but it still looks natural. You can still see some of it coming through, especially with the lights on me and that. Now I don't have any cheek products from L.O.V. They do carry them though, and there are some interesting products that do look quite nice. They have like some highlighting contouring palettes and stuff, and I saw that they have some liquid highlighter drops which look really nice, but I don't have those right now, so I'm just going to use my own products for the cheeks. I'm just going to take the Sleek Face Contour Kit in Light and use some of the contour and some of the highlight. And as I'm blending on top, I can get that scent from the foundation coming through, which again I really like, but if you're sensitive to scents, that's something to keep in mind. And before I do the highlight, I'm going to take a little bit of blush. This is one of my go-tos, Kiko Soft Touch Blush in 105. It would help to show you the colour. It's just a muted kind of mauvey pink shade. And then just a touch of highlight. I'm just going to use the same brush at the very tip of it. Okay, so that is the face. Okay, so that completes my face, so it's on to the lips. Now, I have a few choices for lips, but for today, I think I'm going to choose this lipstick, which is a matte. It is number 920 Brick Code, and I'm really interested in the texture. I haven't swatched this or anything, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see on camera. It literally looks like velvet. I don't think the camera's picking it up, but if I look really close, like, it looks like the texture of velvet, and it has L.O.V embossed into the side. But because this is a strong colour, I'm going to want a lip liner, I think. Will I just go for it? We'll just go for it without a lip liner. There's a slight scent to this too. Kind of fruity. It smells nice. I think there actually is some sort of overlay, because when I first touched it, it did feel like velvet. Like almost like a fabric. But then as you apply it, it starts to get more creamy. So I think there actually is some sort of overlay that makes it look and feel like velvet. It's coming out a bit more pink on the lip than it is in the bullet. That's some serious pigment. That bottom lip is just from me pressing my lips together. So that is good pigment. I'm just layering it a little bit more because I'm trying to get the edges, you know, decent without a lip liner. So if I'd line first, I probably wouldn't need to apply as much at all. Okay, so that is the lip. That's as good as I'm going to get it, just with a bullet and no liner. I really like the colour and I like the texture. It turned out to be much more creamy than I was expecting. So it's not drying on the lip at all. I can see a little bit of shine off of it because it is a little bit creamy, but it's definitely not glossy at all. So that is basically the look done, but there's just one thing I do want to try before we wrap up, and that is to try this brow cream with my normal brow brush, which is the Inglot 31T. I just want to see if I can be a little bit more precise with it, if it'll work with a brush. Just in those areas where I like to add a little bit more, like right under here. Now, as I said, I do think I could do with a darker shade. So because the formula is quite thin and it's not overly pigmented, it's not like applying like a pomade or a regular brow cream that comes in a pot. So using it with a precise brush like this did allow me to get some extra colour where there was no hairs, where I wanted that little bit of extra colour, but it still remained quite natural and it's not too sharp or too strong. So I just wanted to do that to the brow, especially with this lip. It just kicked the look up a notch and the brows were just a little bit too fluffy for my taste. I just think it looks a little bit cleaner than this side. So then the very last product that I wanted to mention in this video is a nail polish that I have, and this is from the Fall line and it's from a collection of nudes, and this is the shade Naked Skin. So it's a very nude beigey colour and it is what I have on my nails at the moment. On this side I believe I have 3 coats and this side I have 2. So it is quite sheer. One coat alone just gives like a really sheer coating and it just makes your nails look that little bit more glossy. 2 coats will give you this. You can still kind of see the whites, the very tip of the nail, the whites coming through. And then this is 3 coats where you get that bit more colour again, but it's still a very natural nude colour and I quite like this. It's something that will go with everything. So in conclusion, there aren't any products that I dislike really, but I think of those products, the 3 that would stand out to me a little bit more would be the mascara, because I do quite like it as a mascara, and as I was saying, my lashes don't tend to look much different with many mascaras, whereas I do notice a slight difference with this one. So I like this mascara, and that eyeliner I quite like. I really like that deep petrol blue colour, and because it's a pencil it's quick and easy to put on, but I find that it's a little bit softer than most pencils, so it goes on better than most. And then the brow cream, again, because I haven't seen anything quite like this one, and because I can see myself reaching for this again if I'm just running out the door or if I'm just having a minimal makeup day. If you would like a closer look at any of them, I will have pictures on my blog, and I will reiterate the information that I gave you about the products as well as my thoughts, so you can check out that link down below. There were 4 other products that I didn't feature in this video, so then these 4 will feature separately on my blog on Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. So guys, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up by clicking the like button that's down below, and you can also subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me if you'd like to. So thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.